Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quest, a journey into true crime and the paranormal. My name is Misti Gaither, and I am so excited to have with me Filmmaker. Just one of the things that she does, Debra Mooradian, is here with me. I mean, just fresh off of having your feature film at the University of New Orleans Film Festival. I mean, this just happened. And so we're going to get out into all that. We're going to talk about your YouTube channel where you capture actual paranormal activity at your home. And I mean, just amazing. You know, we were talking earlier about how things are full circle because you actually are from New Orleans.
Yes.
And you are been residing in Los Angeles for a while.
Yes.
But I mean, to have, how does it feel? Because you did go to, the University of New Orleans.
Yes.
How does it feel to come full circle with having your film shown at the film festival there?
It was otherworldly. It was, maybe this was meant to be, that I started my, journeyhood, young woman coming out of high school, and I was born in Algiers, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And my family, I don't know for old timers out there, but my father used to own Cycle Stop, motorcycle business right off of Metairie, and also before they built the second bridge in Mississippi, the Mississippi River Bridge, that was where the other store was, and they had to demolish that to make way for the bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so when I was in junior high, my family moved to Picayune, Mississippi. So that's the first thing people say, or ask me, "Oh, you're from New Orleans? Where'd you go to high school?" And I always have to go, "Ugh, I didn't go to high school in New Orleans. I went to high school in Picayune, Mississippi." And then I decided that with family and just really enjoying the city life, I went to, well, first of all, my father said, if you're going to go to college, you're going to have to figure out how to pay for it. And I said, okay, well, I enjoy cutting hair. And so I went to John Jay Beauty School. And then I enrolled in UNO, and I used to work at the Esplanade Mall cutting hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I'd go to UNO, so when you're young, you have all this energy.
Yeah.
So
I remember those
I had
days.
classes at 8 a.m. to 1, and then my shift to cut hair was from 4 to 9, and I worked all day Saturdays, and I worked one Sunday a month. It was great. And so I went to UNO for 2 years and then transferred to LSU, where I found my writing. At first, I thought I wanted to open up salons or maybe even work more with John Jay, because I used to assist with him, and it was a great experience for that time. And so leaving everything behind, and after graduating from college and going to LA, and then, I don't know, it's very powerful. So.
Oh, well, it is because, you think about the, how much time and just, like I know that, in different projects that I do, like you actually pour so much of yourself into the project, like your heart. And then it always takes a piece of your soul, I believe, that you leave the imprint of yourself into your projects. Your film that was premiered at the film festival is called Looking.
Yes.
And it is a time travel type, terror type thing, it has all the bells and whistles of a what would you call it? Like, maybe not, is it like a thriller or more of a suspense film, or is it kind of everything rolled into one?
Yes, it's interesting because when you have such a short form and a different way to tell a story now with new media, you kind of have to throw out all of the traditional. You've got all this time to set up. You have all this time for a backstory. You have all this time to lead up. And what I realized in identifying in the scares and the thrill beats, the exercise is the same. You have to introduce the problem. You have to introduce the characters. You have to introduce the build-up. And when you create a film and when you make a film, all of the different fabrics, and it's like a tapestry. It's like a roux. It's like putting in the ingredients of a great meal. You have to have the lighting, you have to have the sound, you have to have the music, you have to have the actors, and you have to direct in the way that you want how the experience to unfold. And so there are films that are 2 minutes long There are films there that are a minute long now. When I first launched it, and the idea was, well, don't tell anyone what it is and let them think what they want to think what it is. But you can fast forward on your phone or on your tablet to get to the end anyway. And I think I heard something about, and maybe you might know more about this, there are a billion videos uploaded every hour. It's extraordinary. I mean, don't quote me on that, but the amount of content that's out there that is demanding your attention, and you can click away here, you can click away there, you've got a phone call coming in, you can pause it. Like, I'm honored that anybody would take 10 seconds to look at my content. And so you say, okay, well, people's attention is 20, 40 seconds at best before they click away. And so how do you keep them engaged and watching and learning this process of a new way to tell stories has been so interesting. And, with TikTok, and now that YouTube has shorts, I'm just sort of taking my love of the field and that genre and just trying to make my voice be heard and unique and interesting, and just like other content creators.
Well, yeah, but what's so cool about you is that you have made a impact, and you do have a voice, because if you think about it, I mean, you actually won an award, and more than one, but you actually won an award. It's the Los Angeles International Screenplay Award for Outstanding Screenplay Feature and TV Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's cool to do content and for people to watch and all that, but is that something that you were recognized by your peers? Or was it like a vote from people who come and watch what you're submitted, or how did that work?
Sure. Well, they have contests where up-and-coming writers get judged. There's a panel. There's a professional panel. You have to compete with people who want to submit their material, and there are contests all over the place. And when I came to LA with hopes and dreams and desires and wants to be a creative, as a writer primarily, I took a back seat to my family because I happened to fall in love and meet my soulmate that I'm still together with since 1992.
Mazel tov.
That's it's an achievement in anybody. So
very much so.
Yeah. I was, I knew that I couldn't do it all, and that was fine, because one of the things I really wanted to do was be a good wife and a good mother and a solid and stable home. But I never, I always kept creating, and I always dabbled in creativity, whether it was when my son wanted to learn how to play the piano, or I told him, you're going to learn how to play the piano.
Right.
I got my own piano pieces and had done some original compositions and said, okay, well, I'm going to tell my stories through music while he's learning music. And it was a way for me to keep creative by incorporating the music, from New Orleans. We have music in our blood, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. We hear a beat, we instantly start dancing. We see a stage, let me get on that stage.
When people pass, we're like, let's celebrate.
I mean, when we got here on Wednesday and we ate at Palador, mm-hmm. and we hear the jazz coming out when we walk out, we're like, what's that sound? And we walk, and of course there's a whole brass band out there playing for everybody. And so the music and telling stories about the music, and I actually have 2 songs that was inspired. I'm like, I need a new Mardi Gras song. So I did with my music producer, Jason Farnham, a song called Mardi Gras Mama, and then another song called Just a Girl from New Orleans. And I say New Orleans because it rhymes with a lot more things than New Orleans.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Louis Armstrong did, called it Orleans, But anyway, it's just 2 fun upbeat songs. And my other music is about just telling stories, and in a heartfelt way that you do have to wait for some things, and it just plays out. But anyway, being creative and always writing and always thinking and always dreaming, never letting that dream die. So coming back to UNO, the dream, it was all kind of meant to be, I feel like. Yeah.
Now, you're talking about, your music, and one of your projects was called The Female Voices of Rock.
Yeah, that was a contest. So going
Yeah.
back to the contest submissions, anybody, you apply to it. They have these hubs like Film Freeway, Coverfly, and you upload your material. And there's a submission fee, and you take your name off the title page, and you wait. You wait to see if you place. You wait to see if you made the cut. And one of the projects I'm excited to talk about in the short film screenplay version is called To Have and to Hold. And it was a semifinalist in the Female Voices Rock Festival. And I actually was in Brooklyn and went down there and met other female filmmakers.
Oh, wow.
And just that camaraderie, because we have a softer side of things. And we, however you feel, identify, or whatnot, you have a point of view. And, you question yourself all the time. Why am I so special? What makes me unique? And the other day I was just taking a walk and I said, my eyes are seeing things the only way that I can see things. And everybody has that. Right. And how do you tap into that? And however you want to be heard or seen or live your life, it's all you. Getting, coming back to UNO and having that full circle moment is people, we kind of lose ourselves along the way in life because we want to fit in and we want to, not make waves and we want to do this or that or the other. And it's all just being true to yourself and living the life that you want to live. And so I'm really, if I had one reader or if I have one click, I'm thrilled. I'm grateful for everything.
Now, you also, did you go to Vail, or did you have some of your
the film
films
festival
and stuff at Vail?
Yeah. Well, what's so great about these contests and the availability for anybody who wants to see where they land or where they fall within other writers and creatives, you just kind of go down the list and you kind of see where you would like to apply. And if you're selected, you just get a notification, hey, you made the cut. And I was just trying to see, well, where do I fit into all of this? And if I didn't make the cut or whatnot, because it has been a long time, I was okay with that. I just wanted to see where I landed and if I'm on the right path and just, okay, I got to roll up my sleeves and get to work now because I know at least I'm on the playing field. Now, how do I get to that touchdown?
Now, let me ask you this, because you were talking about, you were just wanting to see, like, if you made the cut or if you were on the, like, a confirmation is a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. But how much confirmation do we need before you think it clicks in that, because I'm the same way, I'm like, okay, about my show, is this going to be okay? Is it, am I doing a good job? Am I reaching people? And like me, I want that confirmation. I want, people to realize what I'm doing, here and then, yeah. And it's like you've been successful in so many different ventures, songwriting, filmmaking, and it's like,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'll say this.
Okay.
I'll say this. I'll actually, because I do a hand signal. I do that.
Okay.
Stop it.
Because you're there.
Not because, well, what does there mean? I think it's, as a creative, okay, we'll just start with that.
Yeah.
You don't do it for anybody else but yourself.
Right.
And there's that expression, you're writing for a person of one. And that is for yourself. You're creating for yourself. And if I like it, that's enough. Because it's just fine. Yeah.
I like that.
Have that. I learned that. I went to Japan recently and they didn't speak English. A lot of people don't speak English. So you really are reliant upon your hand signals. And then I'm like, is the bathroom this way? And they're like...
And you're like...
And I took that as that's a good whenever you get down on yourself, whenever you doubt yourself, whenever you are looking for validation outside, I do this mentally. Sometimes I'll do it physically. I know it's pretty silly, but
I like it. I'm going to use it
it's
if you don't mind.
effective. Not at all.
All right.
Please,
Well, you
anybody
may have
there.
started a trend here.
But I did it for you have to be realistic because there are things that you can do for a hobby and you enjoy it, and there are things that you want to do to propel yourself to the next realm of opportunities, financial, obviously. And so I just think that you just can't care about what other people think. And when your passion comes through about what you love to do, they feel that passion. And you have to have someone open that gate for you. You have to have someone be your advocate. And the more that you can do that pleases you, and it pleases you so much that other people catch that vibe and other people sense that. And so my love for the supernatural and that genre, I kind of blame my mom for that because she told me that she took me to see Rosemary's Baby
Boom.
while I was in the womb.
Oh.
I didn't have a choice.
Now, that's what you call it, kind of like an oxymoron in a way. She's pregnant and watching Rosemary's.
Well, I'm born in July, and that came out in June, so I was really towards
You were
the
late.
end. I was already done.
You're right. You were just like waiting to make your debut.
So we joke about that.
Yeah, it is funny.
And so the love of that genre has always intrigued me from early on. I mean, begging my dad to take me to see The Shining, and we saw that in the movie theater.
You seen The Exorcist?
I did not see that in the theater, but I saw that, at home. And in fact, I had a childhood when I was in Picayune. I feel so bad, but I'm like, let's watch The Exorcist. She's like, okay. She's very Catholic, and her mom had to pick her up, and she had to get holy salt. Like, she was freaked out completely.
You're bad.
And I'm like enjoying it. I'm like, sorry, Susan, if you're watching.
Spin your head around again.
I'm so sorry, Susan. I think about, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh my
I
God.
felt she didn't spend the night after that. I'm like, let's watch this. We have a fire in the fireplace. I'm like, why are the fire flames making an X and crosses in the flames? Do you see that? But seriously, Children of the Corn with Stephen King and Pet Cemetery, and all of those images, and just like, ooh, and again, being from New Orleans, and it's natural to talk about ghosts, and it's natural to talk about, people don't look at you crazy, because it's like we all have experiences. And one of the things that I'm excited to do on my YouTube channel, looking at horror shorts that I started after I did the film Looking, which was inspired by a supernatural event that happened to my husband and myself, but we can get into that in a moment. But I want to have supernatural, and I call it supernatural encounters because I realize everybody has a supernatural story to tell. And so when I tell people about my channel, I say, do you have a supernatural experience? Oh, yes, I do.
Yes.
And I've already heard 3, and I'm not even trying. So I'm looking forward to exploring that and posting those. It's almost like a firsthand, telling stories that like we used to do from the beginning of time. We could sit around the campfire and tell stories. So in this new way to tell a story, just tell me your supernatural story.
And that's really about all that you need to say, because a lot of people don't have that outlet to really share that, because like you said, around New Orleans, we're also used to, hey, did you see the ghost just walk by? Yeah. We don't think nothing about it because it's so prevalent, but every area is not like that.
Yes.
And so you'll be giving people the opportunity that maybe that hasn't had that chance or that outlet to actually share that their story. And I was getting into about to get into your YouTube channel. It's called Looking at the Horror Shorts. And what you do is, and you really need to check out her Debra's YouTube channel and subscribe too. And you actually film. You have your, security, your home security. And I mean, like everywhere you have like orbs, you have this, you have mist, you have that. And it's just amazing. Do you think that you have so much paranormal activity around your home because of you or someone in your home that maybe kind of the spirits are attracted to, or is it the land or the home?
Okay, so People have asked me this question because when they see the videos, it's undeniable. And these are fixed. They call them no theft cameras because they're actually bolted into the frame of the home. And so my husband and I, we bought our house basically from the original owner, Mrs. Juanita Robinson, because we still sometimes get her mail. And she lived there from 1925 until she passed. I don't know if she passed in the home, but we bought it from a mortgage company who bought it from her directly, kept it empty for a year, and then we came in. It was an empty house for a year. And we believe, it makes sense that she never left. And our son, I remember at one point, I said, "Come on, baby, let's go." After eating, let's go in the living room. And he goes, "No, she's there." And I said, "Who?" And he said, she, and he's pointing to the corner of the room above the TV. And I said, "Nobody's there, come on." And he's like, "No." And I said, "Well, what does she look like?" And he says, "She looks frosty." And he's 4 years old.
Frosty, yeah.
And we have, lights flickering all the time. Oh, my husband said, "Oh, it's a 100-year-old house. It's going to flicker, or nearly 100 at that time." We just sort of he would always write it off as, he's the doubting Thomas. And so when we decided to, we outgrew the house, and it was really literally falling apart. Half of it was sunk. Doors wouldn't close, the lighting, everything. We decided to build a house on that property, so I deconstructed the house and recycled. I'm very proud to say that I recycled about 90% of it, donated to Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, that's great.
Sold it off in pieces, because so we had the original crystal doorknobs with the wrought iron key and the French windows. It was a very New Orleanian style house. My logo, well, one of the fountains, it was very New Orleans, the angel fountain. Also had a little angel statue that I use as my logo for the channel. That angel fountain is in our yard. And so I believe that the spirits, I don't know, because at one of the postings, I had to laugh about it. I actually have a dancing clown, like from TikTok, like I have a dancing clown, a clapping skeleton, like, what is all this wind and gusts? Nothing is around and the foliage is moving. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a channel where you just blink and you miss it. You're like, look, oh, there it is. And they have to replay it in slow motion and put an arrow, pointing, look,
right.
And freezing. No, this is everywhere. So I don't know why it's there. And I think that's part of the mystique of not knowing and not knowing. I think also, too, once I'm really, this event that inspired the film Looking happened. Our alarm went off at 3 a.m. for no reason. That said a window was open, it wasn't open. I can't reset the alarm. I call the alarm company. They say the panel blew out. We don't even know why. And I said, "Why didn't you call me?" And they said, "Because we don't even have a record of the call of anything happening. The alarm didn't go off in our database." They had to replace the panel a week later, and I'm looking at this footage and I'm seeing somebody walking by our bed before we wake up, before the alarm goes off. And then I look in a mirror, and then there's these, in the image in the film is actually the image, and actually the footage in the film is the actual security camera footage. So we weaved this into this narrative plot of what happens when it's a home invasion, a supernatural home invasion movie. Mm-hmm. And so the portals through a mirror, we have these prints in our mirror that we saw the next morning.
Wow.
So that's real too. And portals are known to be a conduit for spirits to come through. And I thought, well, what if in our home security cameras and all the electrical and the wires, what if something supernatural can come in and cross? And what if all this has been happening? Now we have the technology to see it.
Right.
It used to be you had to bring in the paranormal team to set up the camera, the lights, the mic, waiting all night for it to catch. Now it's everywhere all the time. You don't need that.
Right.
And so playing around with those concepts. And so in the whole, do I give it away, the twist? The twist is a twist, but I want to give you the intriguing part of the twist, that it's a time travel twist. Well, what's that? Well, you have to watch closely. And yeah, you can watch it on your phone, but to get the real experience, you can watch it on your television on the big screen because of the time code stamp within the video itself. We sort of led to those hints.
Nice.
And then I wrote the chapters of the movies so that you can see each part has a piece to play in this puzzle that you create. As a filmmaker, you have to have all of those pieces imprinted in your mind and how you want it to unfold in an engaging mood, atmosphere, tension buildup. And so it was pretty much just a test to see if I could do it.
And you did. And you know what? I'm a real firm believer, and I've spoken about it on my show before, about the electricity and how that the spirits use that to travel to other places and within the home. And just, I really believe in that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it does. But it's really true, because what are spirits? They're energy. And so it does make sense that they would use that form, to travel. I believe that they travel to different places.
That's right. And so now we can see it. And so now, if I can have a forum for people to tell their stories, and I'm thinking as the channel is growing, because I have over 10,000 subscribers now, and since I launched it in August of this year, and the film has almost 240,000 views.
Wow.
And it's the beauty of YouTube is you can do international. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing what parts of the country, like Asia and Italy and, where else? Cambodia. Like,
wow.
they're all the more culturally New Orleans isn't the only place where spirits are in the culture.
Well, we like to think that, but
Yeah.
yes, there are other places.
Exactly. And so, so having it, I think what I'm going to start doing, so having done the film and had this experience, okay, well, I'm going to use the real experience of these events. I'm going to craft it into a short story. I'm going to use the footage that freaked us out, right? And then I'm going to, the final shot is the video, is the security camera in and of itself is a camera for that final shot. And so it's not a cameraman, it's not lights, it's not sound or anything. And I wanted to just show how that you were touching upon the electrical, the energy that a security camera can pull as the image of the ghost coming in through, and that she's trapped years later. And again, it's in the timestamp, and again, you have to plan for how it all plays out.
Sure.
There are no accidents in filmmaking. Sometimes there are, but for the most part, you want to have those limited so that you can control the narrative and the story and the vibe that you want to bring out.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start having, as I had mentioned about the film and about the supernatural film in the film itself, and then the camera filming a narrative of the real event that all kind of makes sense. I think what I'm going to start doing is reaction videos, because what I do is now all of this, the videos, the shorts that are on the channel, what I'll do is I'll wake up and I go, okay, what happened last night? Or then, I'll do it like in three or 4 days. And I'm looking, and then when I see it, oh my God, what is this huge orb? Oh no, that's not 2, it's 3 orbs, right?
Your reactions,
my
yes.
reactions to what I'm watching live, and then having that be inclusive and part of that video experience.
I like
I'm
it.
excited to sort of build that into.
Well, I am so looking forward to even more from you, because it just seems like your enthusiasm and you're just wanting to encompass everything that you can and learn and just not only learn, but to share what you have with everyone else and just bring it into a creative, I'm all about creativity and just really, and what it does is it brings people together. It brings people, because you think, you were talking about YouTube and how that, we reach so many places that we would never maybe reach before, Cambodia, Germany, Australia,
Yeah,
like so many,
everywhere, New
everywhere.
Zealand.
And then you think
Yes.
about, what about that little girl that is maybe having paranormal experiences somewhere that maybe doesn't have that outlet, to share her stories, or maybe don't feel comfortable. And then she sees something that you've directed and made, and it maybe makes her feel like that she's not alone. And I just think that that's beautiful to be able to have that to share and to be someone's inspiration.
That's awesome
You
to
know.
hear. I just feel that if you believe in yourself,
Yeah.
you just keep on. There's this expression: if you're walking in the right direction, keep walking.
Yeah.
And it's going back to my short screenplay, To Have and to Hold. I realized to reach that wider audience, I'm in the process of editing and self-publishing a short story that I'm gonna post on Kindle, and do I'm going to read to it as well, so you can have it as an audio, or download the short story about our culture that we take for granted: the food, the music, the decay, finding the beauty in the decay. That, oh, something's old and worn. No, there's a beauty in that, and that rejuvenation. So I'm touching upon all of those themes in characters that we know that other people may not, they find unique about it. And so not taking for granted our roots.
Right.
So we have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer. You have a voice. You have a passion to bring these stories to light. So thank you for giving me that opportunity to do that.
No problem. And I hope that anything that you do in the future, and that you share it with us, and we'll be
Most
happy
definitely.
to,
I
to
was
get it out
looking at
there.
your channel, and I saw that what caught my eye was the housewives, the ghost hunting housewives.
Yes.
were really funny and interesting, and that people are fascinated with it. There's no denying the fascination with things we can't explain.
Everybody, be sure to check out Debra Mooradian's YouTube channel. It's called, again, Looking at Horror Shorts. And we're going to be putting up her website and all the information where you can get to know even more about her and share in her journey on just all about the paranormal, and just her passion about it. So thank you again for watching this episode of Quest, a journey into true crime and the paranormal. I'm Misti Gaither. Be sure to subscribe, and have a good night. Thank you.